Jake, do you know how to play this or that?
Is it when you give me two things to decide between and I say this or that, I have to choose one, right?
Eric's nodding his head yes. Yes, that's exactly it.
I figured it out.
Smart cookie.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's me. Smart cookie.
Eric, do you have any this or that's for Jacob?
Yeah,
It's just wait. Wait, hold on. Your full name is Jake. It's not Jacob, right?
Just Jake.
There's no such thing as Jacob for you?
J-A-K-E.
That's crazy.
Jacob Britton does not exist. Just Jake.
I love it.
That's some rock star shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead there, Eric.
Okay. Okay, ready? Are you ready, Jake?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater or Tony Hawk's Underground?
Dude,
as a game
Tony Hawk's Underground, only because I never had Tony Hawk Pro Skater growing up. I had played it before, like over at a friend's house, but I had like the Tony Hawk Underground games. So definitely Tony Hawk Underground. I used to love those games. I used to love those.
For, Underground also.
Yeah, they were sick. They were so cool. I know they recently like remastered the Tony Hawk Pro Skaters though, and came out with like
They're
a new
fun.
one. I know that.
Yeah, I picked it up. It's fun. Oh, that's
yeah. So okay. fun fact about like the first one, like that was back. So like all because the characters that are in it are like real pro skaters, and the way I was like listening to an interview with one of the people, Andrew Reynolds, who's one of the characters in like the original one, the Tony Hawk Pro Skater, like the way they set up the contracts, they didn't think like, because obviously they get like royalties because their like name and like image and likeness is in the game, but they didn't think the games were going to be successful at first. So the way they set up the contract, like it was like a lot of like royalty money based on how many copies sold, and then it ends up being like one of the most popular games of all time. So like all those skaters in it got paid like much money from being the video game, including Tony Hawk himself, obviously. But yeah, like those like skaters are like, as long as they like didn't blow all that money, they're like set for life just based off that game. Because they didn't think the game was going to be successful, like or as successful as it was. So
I thought you were going to tell a sad story. So where you said like the contract said barely any royalties because the thing wasn't.
No. Like well, in all the future games, it was much less because they knew how much they would sell. So, but like the first one, like all the people like got this crazy deal. So good for them. Anyway,
totally. All right, here's another this or that for you. Football or football?
Definitely football. I'm bad at football with the foot. Football. Yeah, I like football. I only played like flag football, never played tackle. I mean, I played like tackle in like my neighborhood with like kids growing up, and we'd like rough each other up. But other than that, yeah. But I like football. I like watching it, like playing it. American football.
What's your opinion on this or that, Eric?
I don't know. I'm kind of a little bit indifferent to both. I'll watch the Super Bowl, I'll watch the World Cup, but in between, it's just kind of.
I do like watching the World Cup, though. I think that's cool. I'll get into football then. But...
Who do you guys root for in the World Cup? Is it someone different every year? Is it Team USA all the way, or do you like go for like wherever your ancestors are from?
I mean, I'll root for like Team USA, but they normally don't make it that far.
Yeah.
In the women's, they do. I'd like get hyped on the women's World Cup because they're super good. I get like really into that. But in the men's, they're like pretty average or below average. So
I don't know. I feel like rooting for that year.
Yeah, it's kind of differs, you know. Yeah.
Anyone except Tom Brady.
Oh yeah.
What I was hoping to bring up in this or that was just the names of these sports, because football, for American football, it doesn't make that much sense because only one player on the team is kicking the ball with their foot. However, in soccer, two, good point, kicker and punter. But in soccer, yes, while they're using their feet the whole time, the Spanish word for foot isn't food.
I
So where
don't
did they
know.
get that from? Where did they get that from?
What is the Spanish word for foot? I'm so bad at Spanish.
It's I just looked it up. It's spelled like pie, but I'm gonna assume it's pronounced PA. Actually, yeah, PA.
Pie.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Zapata, but I think that's shoe, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Zapata
shoe.
ball.
Zapata ball.
Shoe ball.
Shoe ball. I'd play shoe ball. I don't know what that game entails. That sounds fun. Shoe ball.
Salt and vinegar or sour cream and onion potato chips.
Ooh, this is a tough one because I love both. I have to go sour cream and onion though. I think I have to go. Yeah, that's tough though because I love both of those chip flavors so much.
I can't stand salt and vinegar. I wish I liked it, but I don't. What are you saying, Eric?
I'll eat them until my tongue goes numb.
The salt and vinegar?
Yeah, that will happen.
Sweaty and my glasses fog up and I can't feel my mouth.
Ew. Well, you know what? Were we talking about Doritos the other day?
Probably.
Probably.
Doritos if you're talking with me.
Well, I had a little bag, a fun-sized bag of the Cool Ranch in my house, and I said, all right, I'll give this another go. I couldn't finish the bag. They're gross.
Dude, I like them. They're not that
I don't know
bad.
why
Like,
I don't know why everyone likes them.
I wouldn't choose them. I wouldn't choose them as my first Dorito flavor to eat, but I'll eat them for sure. Yeah, they're good. Good enough.
No, nacho cheese all the way. Spicy nacho.
They're no spicy nacho, but
yeah.
You know, Russ. You know.
We know it. I mean, I wouldn't consider myself a hothead, but when it comes to spicy nacho Doritos.
Hothead, I like that.
Dude, when I was so I don't like do hot sauce or anything like that. And one time at work, we have like a little cafeteria, and me and the people that I work with, we work on another floor of the cafeteria, and we like to go up, get our food, and then instead of sitting in the cafeteria, just go back down and eat in our office together. And so one of the guys I work with, he's like, "Oh man, Russ, you going up to the cafeteria?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "I just came down from there. Can you do me a solid? Could you grab me some hot sauce?" And I said, "No." He said, "Why?" I said, "Because I'm not a hothead." Yeah. I said, "I'm not a hothead." He's like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Do you understand that if I go and get that hot sauce for you, everyone in the cafeteria is going to see I'm carrying hot sauce and they're going to assume I want it for myself. Therefore, I am a hothead. I'm not getting you the hot sauce."
No, what you should have done is just everyone you walk by be like, "Oh no, this hot sauce is actually for someone else. It's not for me." Just a disclaimer.
I have to tell everybody. I have to. It'd be a whole thing. I'd rather it not happen.
no one would have even seen you take the hot sauce.
That's what. No, you see, that's what you think. You know who I am, Jake? I'm Russ of the Soundtown Podcast.
That's true.
And yes, this interaction happened years before the podcast was even conceptualized.
But they know you. They're like, you always had that like, don't I know you from somewhere? Look, you know, like I know this kid.
They're like, isn't that Jake's friend from Shark Club?
Yeah, it's Jake's friend. It's Eric's friend, the kid with the cool mustache, his friend.
What are your guys' opinion on what's the brand? Miss Vicky's?
The chips? Yeah, they're good. They're solid.
I don't think I've ever
Nah, I can't do it. They had him in my college. Student center.
Like cafeteria.
My friend would be like, "Russ, you get free." Yeah. They're like, "Russ, you get free chips with your sandwich. You said you don't want chips. Could you snag me some Miss Vicky's?" What did I say? I said no. Because then that's going to come up on my pay history that I paid for these Miss Vicky's. And I don't want people thinking that I like Miss Vicky's.
You don't want that on your permanent record.
No. All right, Jake, biography or bibliography?
Wow. I don't think I'd ever thought I'd be asked that question.
That's the peak of this or that.
Wow. Definitely biography. Like everyone hated writing bibliographies. Like
No, that's the best part because that means you're done with the fucking essay.
no, I used to
Yeah, and
but it was like
Jake,
I used to get points off on my bibliography. I used to all the time. Like I just wouldn't format it right.
Formatting
Like
it right. Oh man.
no, I don't know. It was hard.
Today, though, as a producer of the local news, isn't looking for that cited sources area you're like, that's your groove, that's your jam, isn't it?
Yeah, but but I don't have to like a bibliography, dude. Like that just like
she's easy, man.
that just
you could just type everything in and it formats it for you.
No, dude,
Yeah,
but like sometimes
bids.
but sometimes the sources you're using like were like missing stuff that you needed, and then it was just like this whole mess. It was oh my god. Oh, that just brings me back to like writing, like putting off papers to the last minute and then having to write a bibliography. I was like, are you kidding me? It was terrible. Oh no, I definitely biography. I like hearing stories about other people's lives. I think that's fun.
Yeah, biographies are cool. If I were to pick up a book, it'd most likely be a biography.
Yeah, I like nonfiction stuff. I think that's cool.
This probably wouldn't help any of us because we're done writing research papers and stuff like that. But someone gave me one of the best pieces of advice ever, I think in high school. Obviously, teachers don't like you using Wikipedia, right? Because anybody could just go in there and write something. Somebody was like, what you can do on Wikipedia, if you've ever noticed the little numbers next to the sentences, those are references. And if there's a sentence that you think is a really key piece of information, you could fact check it because people cite their sources in a Wikipedia document, and it brings you right to that source. And then you can cite that source as what you pick up in Wikipedia.
Wow.
So just throwing that out there, hopefully someone listening.
Russ beat the system.
Oh, it was good. one time I handed in a research paper. This was in college, right? And the teacher, they gave back everybody's things, but they didn't give mine back. They said, talk to me after the period's over. I said, what's up? They're like, well, I fed your thing through, the fact checker, what's it called? Teachers, whatever. And they're like, 95% of it was plagiarized. It's like, what?
Did you plagiarize?
No. You guys know me. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, no, I was about to say.
I don't know.
They handed me my thing, and it just in brackets and red brackets with pen. Every single paragraph. They're like, yeah, all of this. I was like, what are you talking about? I think what I did was I paraphrased, but not well enough for whatever system that they were using to pick it up. I was like, either the system's flawed or I'm just bad at.
So what happened?
APA format.
Did you have to rewrite the paper, or they just let it slide?
Were like
what?
I think they were like, give this another go. Like, I won't give you 0, but figure this out, man. I can't remember what I ended up doing. I was like so distraught. I was like, I did everything right.
Dude, that was like my worst nightmare. Like, just like, oh man,
well,
that would have been terrible.
Thankfully, the professor was chill about it. Usually, people are just like, oh my god, this is it. I get to take somebody down.
Yeah, they could be not cool about it for sure.